Hi, thank you for stopping by. My name is Monica, and this is my digital story, where I will be telling you a little about myself, as well as my academic, professional, and personal experiences as both a student and educator. As a mother to two beautiful children, as well as a first-generation college graduate, education has always been a top priority of mine. After having focused on my family for a few years, I finally decided in 2013 that it was time for me to focus on my education so that I could be a role model for my children. It was then that I enrolled at Kansas State University, where I graduated in May 2017 with my Bachelor's of Science degree in Family Studies and Human Services. Upon graduating, I moved back home to San Antonio, where I began working for Bexar County as a mental health specialist. It was during this time where I found myself really struggling with what I wanted to do with my degree and where I wanted my education to take me. After some consideration, I decided I wanted to pursue my master's degree in special education with a concentration in applied behavioral analysis, having spent considerable amount of time around children with special needs. It was during my time with these children that I found a new love and passion for this community. My goals for myself as I pursue my degree are to be able to provide intellectually effective teaching strategies and interventions for my learners in order to encourage and promote successful learning and behaviors. Also, to help me transform the learning environments for my learners in an effort to promote successful learning catered to their individual needs. I also hope to reach out and inquire more about information and approaches different than my own in search for the best possible intervention for my learners. I also help to stay critically conscious of the cultural and political contents as they apply to my field so that I can continue to promote and implement meaningful growth, development, and success among my learners. I will strive to stay vigilant of my own behaviors as a professional so that I ethically uphold myself as well as my clients to the ethical standards of an applied behavioral analyst, as well as to uphold a strong professional identity in ABA based on proven research and ethics that upholds the standards and visions of ABA by acknowledging and providing the best interventions, knowledge, and resources that best suit my learners. As I strive to implement these main themes in my education as well as my career, I am fulfilling my goals to further prepare myself for the Behavior Analyst Certification Board, as well as prepare myself as I plan on pursuing my doctorate degree in Applied Behavioral Analysis at Texas A&M University. Golden and Lansing Billing discuss the history of education in the United States and the socio-political nature that negatively impacts and contributes to the achievement gap. In my professional experience, this achievement gap has had a grave impact on the access and resources special needs children have to education. Interdisciplinarity, as described by Nasani, combines more than one discipline in order to produce new perspectives of knowledge, research, and education. His approach also focused on different disciplinarity perspectives in order to understand a subject as a whole. For example, in ABA, I must be willing to work with other medical professionals outside of my field so that I can better understand my clients in order to get a deeper understanding of their behavioral issues. Interdisciplinarity, as mentioned by Moran, is a bringing together of different academic disciplines in order to focus on their similarities in an effort to produce new ways of thinking, problem solving, and awareness. In the contents of special education, the understanding of interdisciplinarity is essential to my personal growth as well as my students. It impacts how I assess and understand my students by broadening my knowledge in my field in a positive and more efficient way. Social injustice within the education system is unfair or unequal access to education based on an individual's social background and biases. Anyon discussed how the influence, wealth, area in which you live, and line of work all affect your quality of education and access to resources. For Ray's theory of the oppressed and their need for radical change as imperative is one effort towards examining our own behavior of social injustice. In special education, special injustice in our education system However, in order to make strides towards ending social injustice, one must convince themselves that they want to get rid of it. Skinner, known for developing the science of behavioral analysis, introduced the learning theory of behaviorism, in which he bases on the reinforcement of behaviors using stimuli-response conditioning, known as operant conditioning. This learning theory is extremely popular in ABA. Operant conditioning is used to reward or punish a particular behavior or set of behaviors in a child by using a type of stimuli such as food or candy that provokes a desired response to the behavior. PA's learning theory of cognitism is a stimulus-response theory that responds to the use of internal reinforcements and how it affects both development and learning. In ABA, cognitism plays a major role in how we are able to work and teach our students. Although many have severe behavioral issues or lack communication skills, the environment in which they live and interact plays a major role in their learning development. Vygotsky's theory of social constructivism discusses the interaction of knowledge and how it influences the development of meanings based on the relationship of development and learning from our own experiences and environment. In my experiences in ABA, the combination of other professionals in their respective fields help us as behavioral analysts to better implement learning and development in our students. How we learn is based on a variety of factors such as past experiences, culture, society, and prior knowledge. LeVay and Wenger introduced a new learning theory referred to as situation learning, based on the understanding that learning and knowledge is acquired through connected activities with people, the community, and culture. In ABA, situation learning is used when mainstream special ed students in the class. This theory helps them to use and comprehend skills that they are able to apply to their everyday lives. According to Pepper and Harrell, constructionism is known as the best mode of learning because it provides a solid framework of learning that invites a variety of learning methods to intellectually collaborate. Although constructionism is not widely used in my professional field, ABA is incorporating more technological approaches in an effort to adapt to current learning styles as society evolves. Knowles introduces adult learning as a more effective method of education in adults. Because technological devices and tools are helping to revolutionize the learning process by making learning more enjoyable, adult learners are adapting and using their experiences to find better ways of problem-solving, self-concept, and readiness to learn. Similar to Knowles' focus on andragogy, ABA focuses on learning styles and strengths of adult learners, as well as recognizing which type of behavioral approaches work best for learners. Sexual diversity is a widely controversial topic in education today. Meyer discusses the lack of dialogue about sexuality and the need to normalize it within our school system in order to create a more socially tolerant culture. In ABA, it is against our codes of ethics to discriminate any individual based on their sexual orientation. Doing so compromises our ability to help and service them. According to Harrower, one of the biggest issues discussed in education today is the mainstreaming of special education students into the classroom. Despite the numerous benefits for special education children, there are a number of issues some feel are detrimental to the class environment and other students. In my professional experience, requirements and changes need to be made first in order to successfully merge special education students into the classroom. 21st century learners are students who are consumed by technological tools that provide them with new innovative ways of learning. Prensky suggests that because students are so well versed with technology, teachers should adapt their teaching methods in order to allow students to self-teach. By doing so, educators are improving student engagement in the classroom. However, we must keep in mind learning and education is constantly evolving, and we must be able to adapt with these changes to continue to strive in society. As I conclude this semester, this course has challenged me in new ways that has pushed me to think and analyze information from different perspectives that I was not entirely comfortable with. It has also opened my mind to new avenues of learning. Going forward, I hope to use my new perspective and information in my fields of applied behavioral analyst so that I can educate and serve my students to the best of my ability.